Good morning, everybody. I'm just moving everything around. How's everybody doing today? Thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down, a little like this. Making it through. We're so excited that everybody's here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your energy and your presence. Let's jump right in. Our partners, I think you know them by now. I think you've had a chance to meet everybody, but it's a pretty fantastic team. Youth and Arts is thrilled to be part of this team. So thank you to everybody's collaboration, and let's keep going. Our platforms, I think Edpuzzle is on the agenda today, right? So we'll explore that as well. And if you have questions, keep putting them in the chat about these platforms. We'll continue to model and continue to build in opportunities for you to experiment on these different platforms. We want to revisit our norms every single morning to make sure that we're starting from a foundation that we collectively have agreed upon. And so these are the norms that we decided upon on Monday. So I'm just going to give a quick moment for you to read through them once again. To make sure that they still feel right. And of course, we're always open to feedback. So please feel free to add to the chat, email us, however you'd like to respond to these, absolutely feel free. Just take about 20 seconds. So take a look at that.
I just want to add one thing to that.
Please.
Since you guys talked about balance yesterday, which is, I think sometimes what's really good is to focus on just one that maybe you struggled with yesterday. Like, so if you had trouble asking for clarity or for advocating for yourself, like make a mental note, that's what I'm going to zoom in on today. Or if you had trouble with either stepping up or stepping back, like choose one to be your focal goal for the day. Does that make sense? Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Eileen. Great. So today's learning targets and essential questions are, do classroom discussions include my thinking? And does instruction respond to my thinking and help me think more deeply? We're gonna, this morning, specifically explore relationship skills in our SEL time together. And we're gonna actually dive into this idea around communication, both verbal and nonverbal cues. I'll expand on that in a moment, but we will circle back to some of these questions in our reflection. Of course, today's schedule is here. It replicates the schedules that we've had the previous days. So feel free to come back to this link if you need to find your Zoom session. It's linked here in the slides, and the slides are linked in the chat. So with that, we're going to get started with, sorry, I'm doing a lot of mission control here for a moment. We're going to get started with the brain dance. So in your mindfulness moments, you'll remember, I hope you've been watching those videos with our fantastic mentor artist, Stephanie Bastos. She has been leading us through the phases of the brain dance. By the time we get to tomorrow, to Friday, we will have the full brain dance and we'll dance through the entire thing. I'm giving you a little snippets and little information about the brain dance as we go. So basically, yesterday I explained that the brain dance is the developmental progression of movement that a human goes through after they're born and they start to expand into their world. Each one of these patterns has emotional and mental and implications to the physical pattern. So when we did head tail, which is the connection of spine, that's very much related to sense of self. And you can see that even in body language. We'll talk about communication later. But if our sense of self is feeling damaged or has experienced some sort of trauma, you'll see it all of a sudden impact that head tail connection. Same with if our sense of self is feeling some pride or empowered, you see then that head-tail connection lengthen up and the muscular connections around your core enact and engage and hold you up nice and strong. So these patterns are from the Bartenius fundamentals and patterns of connectivity. And then an educator named Anne Green Gilbert, who I can link in the chat later, developed this idea of the brain dance. And it's something as an arts educator that I use pretty religiously in all of my teaching. So I love to warm up with this. It's great for repatterning the brain and the body and having students be really ready. And last little anecdote, anecdotally, I always reference that for a long time I taught on the far south and far west sides of Chicago, where there was a lot of trauma happening, and we would do this at the start of every single class, and our teaching partners there in those communities reference this as the thing that made their students ready to learn each day. They also referenced it when they said they would do it before standardized tests, they would do it before major transitions for the day, and it really helped bring their students back into their bodies and back into the right energy, if you will, for the day. So with that, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna give us some music. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna just reshare so I can get my sound going. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm gonna go. All right, great. Can you hear me still? Is that a yes? Yes? Okay, great. Make sure you have lots of space around you sitting in your chair. We're gonna start with breath. Sitting up nice and tall, pull those shoulders up, push them back, drop them down. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Good, one more time. Big breath in. Exhale. Hand to your abdomen and a hand to your chest. Feel your core inflate as you take a big breath in right now. Go. Hold it at the top. Exhale. Let's do one more. Big breath in. Exhale. Good. Get those hands going. Let's get some warmth going. Hands are warming up. Awesome. Get some heat going. Great. We'll start with light touch again, lightweight, just brush to wake up using the sense of touch. Try to reach every hemisphere of the body, if you will. So core, upper body, hips, lower body. Good. And then change the weight of that brushing to heavy. So as if you had mud or peanut butter. You're trying to wipe it off. Really heavy, really pushing in. Good. Don't forget the lower body. It's easy to forget about the lower body when we're on Zoom all day. So really get into those legs. Good. And then let's try 2 more patterns with that. Just some light raindrops. So fingertips, light raindrops all over the head, bringing touch and awareness. Even the bottom of your feet, if you can access the bottom of your feet. Good. And then try heavy. Let's put heavy with that. So take care of yourself, but we're gonna try pat, heavy pat. Don't hurt yourself. Good. Good. And out of the 4 of those, the brush, the heavy mud, the raindrops, or the pat, you pick one that feels really good for you. Good. Nice job. All right, moving on to core distal, pulling everything into your core. Get nice and small and nice and tight. You can drop that head down. Very good. Good job. And spreading it all out to our distal limbs. Huge stretch all the way out into the world. Legs too, head, tail as well. Big stretch, stretch that spine. Good job. Nice. Yes, you can keep it moving. It doesn't have to be static. And back into your core. Very good. Nice and tight. You can pull those legs up into your chair if you want. Good. And stretching all out one more time. Huge stretch out into the world. Reaching out into the world. How far can you reach? Toes as well. Head, tail. Ugh, good. And pulling it back in, sitting up nice and tall. Good. Next part of our brain dance is head, tail. Yesterday we experienced making C's with our spine, both forward and back. Go ahead and just play with that right now. Forward, back, and side to side, making C's. And we played with balance in this. If you make a C side to side, you actually have to roll one sit bone off of your chair to make that C. Good. You can drop those hands and you can kind of wiggle that spine. Just find the sequence of your spine, the flow of your spine. Good. Nice. Get in between those shoulder blades to give it a little wiggle, a little shake. Nice job, everybody. All right, moving on. Upper, lower. So for this, you're going to freeze your lower body, all the body parts that are on the part of your lower body, toes, knees, ankles, hips. We're going to just dance with the upper body. You can follow me or you can dance on your own. So whatever you'd like to do. But we're freezing the lower body and mobilizing the upper body. Good, very good. Keep that. So we're talking about foundation and mobility. Lower body's frozen, upper body's dancing. Good. Good, now you're gonna freeze the upper body and dance with the lower body. So I'm gonna back up so you can see me. I'm freezing my upper body, dancing with my lower body. You can draw circles. This is the fun about Zoom. Oh, there's my desk, sorry. So I'm dancing with my lower body. However you'd like, just get it moving. It could even be small. It can just be some running in place if you'd like, some silly feet back and forth, whatever feels good for you. Very good. Good, 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 good. So upper body is about freezing. Upper lower is about freezing one hemisphere of the body. So freezing the lower body, dancing with the upper body, or freezing the upper body, dancing with the lower body. Body side. So we're going to divide the body down the center now. Freeze one side together. And let's just stretch one side of the body way out. So I'm stretching my arm and my leg as far as I can out. And then I'm going to pull it back in. Try that one. Let's go forward. We're going to push forward. So we're playing with directions now. Huge stretch, same arm, same leg, back in. If you have space behind you or your chair allows you, can you go behind you? Same arm, same leg, big stretch. Good. And then however you'd like to dance with that one side of the body. Same arm, same leg, keeping the other side of the body frozen. So they can be doing the same thing, they can be doing different things, but dancing with one side of the body. Good job. Freezing that side, stretch the other side. Stretching far away, stretch, 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 and back in, and forward, big stretch, same arm, same leg, back in, back if you have that room. Good, and dance with that one side of the body. Good job. And they can do different things. They can do the same things. Huge stretch. Nice job. All right, great. So we're almost through our brain dance. There's 2 more patterns, which we'll add on tomorrow. Give yourself a nice shake. Give yourself a nice hug, a rub, fix the hair, fix the clothes, whatever you need to do to get back. Take a big breath in. Way to go. Nice work on your warm up. And we're going to keep on going. Awesome. Great. Whew. Actually, let's take one more deep breath in together. Big breath in. Day 4. Here we go. So as we have been doing the past few days, we're starting with the core competencies as outlined by CASEL's framework of social emotional learning. So we've already touched on self-management, self-awareness, and social awareness. Today, we're going to talk about relationship skills, and it feels like it connects directly back into those essential questions that we laid out for you at the beginning of today. So relationship skills, as defined by the CASEL framework, is about the ability to maintain healthy relationships with diverse groups of people. They've outlined this specifically with these attributes: communicating clearly, resisting inappropriate social pressures, negotiating conflict. We're really going to zero in today on communication and what is communication, and especially in this new digital platform, what does communication mean for us as educators, for our students with each other, and how can we create frameworks for healthy communication and both verbal and nonverbal communication, even in a 2D world. So in thinking about this and thinking about verbal and nonverbal communication, we have a lot of thoughts about value of communication and intent. And both as the giver of communication, what's the value of the communication that I have? How is my value perceived by the person receiving my communication? What cues am I giving off? In my executive functioning, I'm thinking about how I'll respond to communication that I'm receiving. I'm starting to outline how I'll respond to that as well. Do I really understand what you're saying to me, or do I understand your physical cues, especially in Zoomlandia? what do I mean? Do I know what I mean with the words that I'm putting out there? Do I know what I mean with the nonverbal communication that is leaving my body? What is my body language telling you? What is your body language telling me? And all of these are so crucial, of course, in normal, typical relationships when we're in face-to-face in front of one another. But I feel like these questions are layered when you think about having to have interactive relationships, healthy relationships in a 2D world in a digital lens. So I definitely feel that art reflects, demonstrates, and investigates. That's why Youth and Arts is part of this, right? Because we explore that art reflects the feelings, that helps us go deeper into what we're thinking about, helps us question. And so for that, on day 4, I felt that it might be a nice moment of reprieve to take a look at some art that explores nonverbal communication and that maybe inspires us to think about how we can address these things through our work with our students, through our planning of our school year, and through this extra engagement, if you will, through a digital lens. So this is a duo called Flockworks Dance. I was telling Kelsey before today that they only create dance for each other right now. They're a company of 2. They have a very close relationship. But I really enjoy watching them because it's such a fluid conversation between the 2 of them. So I'd love to share it with you. It's only a 2-minute video, but I thought for our start today, it might be really inspiring and encouraging to watch some art. So that's what we're going to do. I also put this quote by one of my favorite people in the world, that dance is thought made visible. And I love that. And I always come back to that about the body, right? Movement is thought made visible. And when we talk about value and intent of our communication, we really, we often jump over nonverbal communication, or what it means and what the body means, or what our facial expressions mean. So I'll leave that there, and then let's enjoy together. I'm working on it. Pause. Oh, sorry. No. Great. So really quick, just maybe a 30-second reflection. Can you add a few things to the chat right now? And using the prompts, I see, I think, I wonder, and maybe using that, I'd love to just get some real-time feedback. So I'll give you about 30 seconds. Oh, I love this. Dawn says something like 90% of what gets communicated by a teacher is nonverbal. So true, so true. I wonder how, Ethan says, I wonder how I can use this in my teacher training workshops, a room full of dancing teachers. Love it. I see they connect physically. I think they are in tune with one another. I wonder how many hours they practiced. For sure. I saw fluidity and it made me think of calmness, Eileen says, yeah. Made me think of schools of sardines. I love that. Love that. Sorry, they're coming in fast. These are great, you guys. Keep them coming. I wonder if this was a story about love and breakup and getting back together. Reminds me of what is possible through practice, for sure. So if we have discussions of both form and function here, right? Like we're talking specifically, I'm seeing some comments about the art form specifically. Some are talking about the story or the narrative or the feeling it gave them. That's interesting, those two different perspectives. The dance of life, calmness and serenity. I love how they connect with each other. Absolutely. I feel like the interplay between space, partnering with space, and partnering with touch is really interesting in watching them, which we're going to play around with a little bit today. Communication is shared physical space and basing communication off of what the other person does. So reactions and interreactions makes me think about reactivity, which is how many elements of the brain dance were evident. Gold star to Don Jolly. Power of finding what it is you love. Absolutely. I love watching their ease of movement. Wonderful. These are great. Nonverbal communication. I saw them trading between giving support to one another throughout the dance. Also, we talked about balance and power yesterday. I saw constant interplay between those two things as well, and both giving support to one another, finding off balance, and then having to find the support in their partner as well. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. Please feel free to explore this company. They're pretty exciting. Thank you for diving in with us. So we're going to actually do an activity. Let me just get back to here. So we're going to do an activity called I Go, You Go, and we'll demonstrate for you. Actually, let me just go back to this really quick while Kelsey, actually, what am I going to do? Stop share. We're going to do an activity called I Go, You Go that I typically do when we're exploring communication and relationships. Relationships in choreography and dance making are typically defined as your relationship to the group or the partner you're dancing with. So in the duet that you were just watching, the relationship could be defined in space by above, below, around, through, next to, behind, on top of, under. Those are typically relationships. And so when we do this in a classroom with students and we're exploring communication and relationship and choices, we're exploring specifically those different vocabulary words and those concepts. That's near impossible, right, in Zoomlandia. So the exploration of this next activity has now transferred from exploring relationships in the literal concepts of space to exploring relationships through the literal concepts of communication, cues, and nonverbal communication. So to do that, I'm going to use the same prompts and protocols of the exploration, but we've now tipped the focus and the meaning on its ear. So I'm going to we will demonstrate. Kelsey's going to help me. I'm going to ask everybody if you could turn your camera off for one moment so that you can really focus and be able to see Kelsey and I. I'm going to pin Kelsey, and you'll be in duos in a moment. Hi, Kelsey. All right. So basically, we need both verbal and nonverbal communication. I'm going to move my chair out of the way. And you'll see in the directions on the slide in a moment that you can play around with different concepts of dance. You can play around with big movements or small movements, fluid or smooth movements or sharp movements. You can play around with swinging movements or the opposite, shaky. I like to give students opposite concepts and ideas that they can play around with. I won't bring in your breakout room with you. So as we said on the first day, fake it till you make it. You can pick one of those. But basically, you'll decide who's going to go first. In this sense, I'm going to go first. And Kelsey, let's move with both big and small movements as those concepts as our framing. And I'm going to start dancing, and I'm going to say, I go. So I'm going to use big movements however I'd like. I might go slow. I might also be dancing in a chair if I want to stay in my chair, which is fine. And I'm dancing, and my cue to do that was to say I go. But then I'm going to freeze in a shape that doesn't move, and I'm going to say to Kelsey, you go. And then Kelsey is going to say, uh-oh, you're on mute.
I go.
You're going to say, she says, I go. And then she's going to start moving and dancing and exploring. And I'm going to stay frozen while she does that. And then when she's ready, she's going to freeze, and she's going to say,
you go.
And then I'm going to replicate her shape, and I'm going to say, I go. And then I'm going to play around again with the movement. And I'm going to respond to what I saw in her movement. So it becomes a conversation. So my movement is changed because of what she said to me physically. You go.
I go. You go.
I go. All right. So let's all come back. Now that's fun. We're exploring both the conversation between each other. Let me unpin Kelsey. No offense, Kelsey. And we're exploring the verbal communication, verbal cues between each other, the nonverbal communication, the conversation that we're having back and forth, and the ability to observe and replicate. Let's see, I'm going to reshare. The other thing that I felt like it was missing was music. Did anybody else feel like that too? Yes. Share screen. So on this slide, we have the directions for you. On top of doing the activity, we're going to give you a few extra minutes because we'd also like you to play around with the idea of sharing music. There's been a lot of questions around sharing music, and so we thought that this might be an excellent opportunity to figure it out together and not have to do it in front of a classroom of 25 kids. So if you have music on your computer, in your music file or Pandora or Spotify or iTunes, you can use all of those. We've laid it out here. You go to share screen and it'll bring up this step 2 for you. You'll want to go to advanced. You'll see there's a little bar at the top that says basic, advanced, and files. You'll want to go to advanced and then select music or computer sound only, and then hit share and select the music that you'd like to play. And then you'll be sharing music. So normally if we were in classroom together, I would be controlling the music because as the educator in the room, I'm always framing and shaping that sound and that feeling or the different kinds of rhythms or the different kinds of tone or theme that is imposed on the movement. I don't have control in that. So this is sort of fun where you and your duet get to choose it. So you can have John Legend playing, you could have Motown playing, you could, I mean, really the options are yours. What I'd like you to do though is once you get the music going, go ahead and leave that on and then explore this I go, you go experiment, if you will, with us. And then we'd love to get some feedback on your way back. Thumbs up if you understand. It's clear as mud. Awesome. Awesome, everybody. Great. Eileen, I think we're ready for our breakout rooms. We're going to give you all, we're going to give you, what time are we at? 7 minutes. I'm going to give you 7 minutes. Take maybe the first 2 to figure it out, and then the next 5 to dance. Eileen, should I join this breakout room?
Cindy D just joined. Oh, so she's unassigned. So Cindy, do you mind staying in here? This is the one that's recorded, but we're gonna do something major fun and Kristen will help you.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll
sure.
help too, thanks.
Awesome.
Go to a Title IV meeting for a little bit, and then I was coming back, and I got rescheduled with that one, so I'm back. Sorry about that.
Totally. We're glad you're here. No. Oh, please. It's okay. So I'm going to say no to breakout room 2, Eileen. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll go to breakout room 2 then and see who's in there.
Okay.
Excuse me, there were 12 of us in our breakout room. In one,
Oh, no.
I don't think that it broke us up very well.
Holy macaroni. Okay, let me do it again. There were supposed to be 14 breakout rooms. Wait, what room number are you in?
I was in 1, and there were 12 of us in there.
Uh-oh.
And I was in 2, and there's a big group in there.
Okay,
It may
let me
have
do it
done that,
again.
yeah.
I'm just closing all rooms. I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna redo it. I don't know what happened. Holy macaronis.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We're all learning.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened though? Okay, I'm going back to breakout rooms. We're missing some people though. Oh Lord have
coming.
mercy.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you
Breakout
for your
rooms, I'm doing it
patience.
again.
We're doing it again. Take
Okay.
2.
Oh, wait. It's not
Good.
allowing. Wait. There's supposed to be a button that says reset.
Sorry, I'm chuckling because my music was already playing. I was like, oh,
Oh, it was? Okay.
Good
How many people
job. That's
figured out how to
amazing.
do the music? I just have to wait till
Yeah,
the 14
good.
seconds when everybody comes back, but it's okay. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again, you guys. I said choose a breakout room, but, okay, all 28 are back. Let me see if it lets me reset.
Not sure you're gonna like it.
Okay, I'm clicking recreate, just so you know. Oh, you guys, here's the little math wizard major screw up. I clicked instead of okay, I did the wrong thing. Okay,
okay.
haha.
Okay.
No worries, Eileen.
Modeling purposeful mistakes to make y'all feel comfortable.
There
All
you
right.
go. Right? This is
Yeah.
intentional.
Stacy, I love you. Okay, I think I did it correctly this time. I said 14 rooms. Okay, friends, bye-bye. Take 2.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
So, Eileen, I'm not going to go to breakout room 13.
All right, so no,
Or
what
should I
I'm
go?
thinking is go to breakout room 13, ask that
Okay.
person to leave the room and come back to the main room with you. And then you model
Got
it
it.
here and then we record it. Thank you.
Got it. Thanks. Okay, bye.
Oh no, I just screwed up again. Oh no. I closed all the rooms by accident. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry.
It's okay,
Eileen,
Eileen.
it's
I'm back in a moment, and we are going to, hi, Eileen, we're going to record Jordan and I. So, Jordan, I'm going to pin your video. Can you pin mine too? I think that will make it feel more like a breakout room.
Wait, how
Um,
do you pin
Oh,
video?
no problem. Go to my picture and the 3 little dots
Yeah.
over my picture, and then click that, and you'll see pin video, and it'll just make me really big.
Okay.
Did it do it?
Get rid of everyone else. Okay.
Yes, it just kind of puts them up top, which is nice.
Cool.
All right, and I have to keep using the copyright-free music. Lucky you. So I'll use that if that's okay. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna stand up. You can stand up or not. It's totally up to you.
Awesome.
And then I'm gonna give us some music.
Opportunity.
Okay, can you hear that?
Yes. And so wait, both of us
Okay.
are responding to each other? Is that how
Yep.
that-
So I'm gonna say I go. You're gonna watch me. Okay. And we'll dance with big and small again. So thinking about concepts of big and small. So you don't have to do what I do. You just watch me. I dance. I explore the concept. And then when I'm ready to freeze, I'll say, you go. You're gonna replicate my shape. Very good. And then you say, I go.
And then I do small. Okay.
Yeah, or whatever you like, yes.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be bigger.
Right. Yeah. Great. And then when you're ready to freeze, you'll freeze and you say, you go.
You go.
But then I just react to what you did. You go. You say, I go. Nice. And you say, you go when you're ready.
Go.
I go. You go.
I go. You go.
You go.
I go. You go.
I go. You go.
I You go.
I go. You go.
I
I'll give us another.
You go.
I go. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Way to go.
That's fun. Very fun. I like it.
That was great. All right, we have people coming back. All right, I gotta unpin you. You wanna unpin me too.
Okay, so how do I do that? Because you're big.
So now that I'm
now on the top left.
Yep.
Great.
You got it.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Learning a
You're
lot.
so welcome. Thanks for dancing with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Just so you know, I don't think we were called back from our breakout rooms.
Oh,
we just came back 'cause
okay.
I
didn't
just
know if-
did. I just closed them.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Jordan, thanks so much for dancing with me. That was awesome.
Thank you for dancing with me. Yeah. Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. How are we doing?
I can look.
Eileen, give me a go when we think we have everyone.
Okay, not yet. We've got 13 people back.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Welcome back,
Okey-dokey,
everybody.
friends,
Coming
we're
back
all
in.
back.
How are our bodies feeling? Good? Grooving?
That was fun.
Oh, good. That's good. It should be. All right. We're all back, Eileen? We're good?
Yeah, but Whitney just said something about TikTok dance challenge. What's that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many middle schooler people or high schooler people are out there. There is this social media phenomenon called TikTok. It's getting some political notice right now for many reasons. But I just remember, this reminded me because I believe it was Cindy and I, one of the Cindys, and we were kind of like pushing each other a little bit, like not intentionally. We were just getting more comfortable, and it reminded me in my class, we would call it TikTok Tourette's, because all of a sudden there'd be some girls that were practicing a dance challenge that they would see, and they would just be going like, and just doing weird little, and I think if you gave this the right spin and like turned it into a dance challenge, they would be super into it. That was so much fun. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Great. Awesome. I love that. Yes, TikTok. I actually have not gotten involved with TikTok yet, but I should, and maybe will. Oh yes, people are loving TikTok. I know my upcoming fourth grader likes it too. I need to embrace it. So I found this cute otter. I thought would be nice for reflection and on brand with with the week. But I wanted to just get some real-time observations from you. So as I mentioned, the activity typically explores relationships in space, which has we have a lot to talk about when we're in person together. But doing it this way brings up a lot of interesting questions around verbal and nonverbal communication, around responsive nonverbal communication, actually having a similar conversation to what we watched in the duet that we watched earlier. That started to happen in our duets where we really started responding to each other's movements. So I'd love to hear some reactions from you. What did you observe? What was interesting? What was hard? What was curious? Relaxed and connected, uncomfortable, vulnerable, supported, successful, great. Yeah, what an interesting arc or creative process. I can do oh great, sorry. So much laughing, great, fun, playful.
I'm in my car, so anytime.
Awesome. Great. Well, these are great observations.
I know,
before
it's
we
really
run
cute.
out of time,
The snowy day or
to
something. Yeah. It might
just a
be. I
reminder
don't
to be
know the
on mute.
author. Oh, I didn't know.
Melissa, can you go on mute? The first step of letting go was hard. The rest was a blast. And how did the music sharing go, real quick? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Was it helpful to have some space to explore that? Great, awesome, so thankful. Okay, I'm gonna pass it off to my colleague, Kelsey, really quick. I'm hoping we have time to do the next activity. We had a few technical difficulties. Oh, kickstarted my coffee, that's really good. Great, it's a great practice in communication and listening and non-planning and playing, I'll say. I mean, we definitely need to create work and space for play too. Awesome, thank you for experimenting and risk-taking. Kelsey, I'm gonna pass it off to you and see what you think about the timing. I should mention really quick, I'm so sorry, that we do have, we did a bunch of lessons when we went to Shelter in Place. Youth and Arts did daily arts lessons. This is one, it's linked in there. It's the I Go, You Go exploration with a person in their space. Feel free to steal this video and take it with you and plop it into your Google Classroom for a day. It's only a few minutes, I think it's like 10 minutes long at most, but it shows how to do it with family members or brothers, sisters, friends. It's a lot of fun. Sorry, go ahead, Kelsey.
Okay, well, we don't really have time to do the other activities, so maybe we should just continue reflecting on the
that sounds great.
The dance, and I don't know if you wanted to facilitate that, Kristen, with some kind of maybe self-journaling or something like that.
Yes, that sounds great. We'll come back to that for sure. So we have these cues and for reflection. Am I taking verbal and nonverbal cues? Do I feel that I can respond? Am I valuing the communication of my partner or group? Is what I'm communicating valued? Did I have to infer meaning of verbal communication through nonverbal cues? Was intent understood by my partner or group? So we'll give you a few minutes now. Let's take about 3 minutes and I'll give you some music as well. Can you please do it just a little bit of free write, journaling, words, responses. You could do it in your digital notebook. You could also do it analog if you like, add anything to the chat that you'd like, but we'll take just about 3 minutes or so.
Kelsey, was I supposed to put people in breakout rooms or they're just doing this in chat?
It's a question for Kristen.
Kristen.
Yeah, we're just no breakout rooms right now. We're just reflecting. Yep, no problem.
who can work from home or classroom.
About 1 more minute. All right, coming on back. Thanks, everyone. Willow had a great question. I put some information about the music that I've been using. Those aren't typically songs that I might listen to in my AirPods. But if you record, this is good information to have. If you're recording something and releasing it publicly, you can't have copyrighted music in it. Even if you put it on Facebook, you may have put something on Facebook before and it actually gets recalled, if you will, or pulled down because of copyright infringement. So there are resources out there where you can download free, copyright-free music. That's what you're hearing, the smooth sounds of bensound.com. So you can check that out. There's a lot of free ones out there. When we started doing live streaming back in Shelter in Place, we downloaded a bunch of that music. So we've been reusing it. So I should try to find some new ones for sure. Before we close out, I'd love to just open up the mic a bit and take a step back, and would love to hear some real-time reactions. If you feel it, you're welcome to unmute. You're welcome to put it in the chat. Just some wonderings about communication. Due to some technical difficulties, we didn't get to Kelsey's activity, but we will find time to do that for sure, because it's a really good one and builds on this. But I'd love to hear some thinking. Whitney says she felt that her communication was heard and valued. Let me just pull up my chat so I can see the whole thing. My partner would sometimes replicate or reuse my movements in later turns, and I did the same with her. That's great. She felt she could communicate and receive intentions through the shared movements. Me too. Loop Labs might be a good resource for music. Thank you, Sandra. It's individuals creating digital music. Awesome. I will check that out. I will definitely check that out. That's great. Any other thoughts? Oh, bye, Flora. Thanks. So you'll notice we keep starting with kinesthetic learning, and that's been intentional. 2D world is pretty static, and so trying to give you a few ideas, both fun but also deep and hopefully thought-provoking, to get students moving, to get yourselves moving, to connect to the body. It's very easy to be like in this kind of, you know, posture for much of the day, and that is energy zapping, I find, and not inspiring. Oh, great. Yeah, thanks, Julie. Julie says, thank you for sharing all these ways, wonderful ways to integrate art, music, and movement into our class meetings. Wonderful. I'm glad. Good, good, good. Well, awesome. Challenging getting music started, not enough time to dance. Heard, totally heard. Totally understand that. Well, you saw us have issues with breakout rooms, and I think it's one of those both challenging but beautiful things that we're all going to be struggling with this next year, is just being humble to experiment and try new technology. I know this team did as we came together to plan these 5 days for you. Shared connection, shared memories with nonverbal communication. Agreed. There's just something different in building partnership with movement than there is in having to sit and bring words to everything. So I 100% agree with that. If you have questions for Kelsey or myself, please feel free to reach out. Let us know. We'd love to hear thoughts or feedback. I love all the notes coming in. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of your great feedback. Ethan says we're filling and stuffing him with new ideas and techniques. Thank you. You are welcome. Well, and I love hearing from you about new ideas and how you're engaging. And as I shared yesterday, I have 2 kids in district in Novato, and so I'm seeing it on the other side. So I'm hearing from you all and thinking about how to support my learners at home, which is a whole new frontier as well. Awesome. Oh, that is what we wanted to hear, Catherine. That's great. I'm going to read that one. Catherine feels more prepared to create a community online. I think that makes all of our hearts beat. I'm so glad. And Don says, great way to encourage students to stay connected on the Z platform. I like that. Let's start calling it that. Their disengagement is such an ongoing concern and challenge. Yeah, these activities are great. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. From there, we're going to take a break. Eileen, what time are we coming back?
Yeah, we're going to take a break. And then at 10 o'clock, we really want people to either sign in. I'm going to do the data talks. We'll record it because it's very appropriate for the upper grades as well. But the upper grades, I really want you to go with Jessica Bean and to continue that phenomenal work. And then at 1:15, you get choices again. It will be the last session with Jessica Bean, which will be phenomenal. And then I'm also going to do the Creating Curiosity to show you where everything is housed so that you can basically have a lot of already lessons made for your students. I'll do it for the TK-12 today, and then tomorrow I'll do it for the 3rd to 5th, okay? Or well, 3rd to 12th. So whatever works for you, and then if school districts need help and you find out, you know, your teachers want more help, just let us know and we can do some more for you. Does that sound good? So come back and tell your friends to come back. Love you too, Sandra. Thank you. Okay, friends, see you at 10. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great morning.
Thank you, Kristen. That was major fun.
Hey, Kelsey.
Yeah.
I was wondering if we don't have time to squeeze in the found sculpture somewhere else in the workshop, maybe could you do just like a little audio file that you squeeze into the slides or something just to talk us through it?
Yeah, I'm moving them right over to tomorrow's morning activity.
Oh, great.
But so we'll record it, and but I'm happy to do like a quick video instruction as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Julie.